The seahorse. Janet thought she had grown numb to the unknown. After all, she was roommates with something that likes to move through walls, and she had just got that roommate to stop spying on her in the bathroom or trying to ambush her in her bedroom. It was a shame that Tom wasn't brave enough to stay with a woman who wasn't scared of anything. It's not like he didn't know what he was doing when he sold her the house in the first place. What's good for the goose is good for the gander after all. He gets one stupid little scare and he decides it's best to just move away. She even warned him to be careful when he was in the garage. It was one of the favorite places that her free domestic servant, unwanted roommate, liked to prowl. But poor baby Tom, one surprise choking and he taps out. Honestly, Janet thinks that he was just looking for an excuse not to call back after they had the best sleepover experiences. Just like her mama said, boys don't want the cow after it gets the milk. Not that Janet thinks of herself as a cow. Thank you, Pilates, for keeping everything firm. Why, you can bounce a quarter off of her. Anyway, she was getting distracted again. What was her point again? Right, she thought she was growing numb to strange creatures that she swore she'd never seen before in the many nature documentaries she watched before. But here she was face to face with this weird combination of seahorse and snake. The thing was curled up with itself, but a glance told her it was absolutely long, with lots of seaweed-looking barbs that no doubt were going to be painful. It was hissing mad and rearing up as it was going to strike at her. She smacked it hard with a rolled-up magazine, one she kept in a laminated waterproof cover because it's easy to get wet when you work with dolphins. Most people think they're super playful like ocean puppies, but she knows better. Dolphins were savage like dire wolves, and you had to learn to set yourself up as the leader of the pack or they'll never listen to you and maybe try to eat you if you're not careful around the apex predator. Or worse, because dolphins were sadists like that. Why did she totally get reminded of her high school boyfriend? The creature whined in confusion at the hit and reared back like it was going to attack again. So she stepped forward and smacked it again, right on its nose. Enough of that now, she said sternly to the creature with a fierce tone. The creature whined again at her tone and still looked like it really was going to attack, but when she raised her arm holding the magazine, it quickly backed down, sinking most of its body into the pool below, keeping its head above to watch her wearily. See, just like that, hierarchy obtained. Janet is the top B word at this aquarium, and everyone better not forget that. All thanks to this week's copy of the celebrity paparazzi garbage she likes to read during her breaks. After all, how else is she going to learn who got a nose job and who's cheating on who? The people have to know. She did wonder what this creature was and how it got there. So she called her boss, and the gutless coward mentioned he found it the other day. It had beached itself on the nearby beach to get away from some migrating killer whales. So he brought it back to the aquarium to treat its wounds. But having been injured, it was very skittish around other people, and it had even severely attacked 3 other marine biologists when they tried to examine it. Her boss continued like he didn't warn Janet at all that he added a new dangerous creature to her section. It seemed today her magazine is going to get a lot more use because she was going to have to smack him as well. Why is it so hard for people to learn that people don't mess with her? She messes with them. Anyways, back to her newest chore. Hanging up on her boss, she turned to address the creature. "All right, you, come on out of there," she ordered the creature. It only sunk deeper into the tank. She glared at it. "If I have to get in there, you're not going to like it," she said with her patented growl number 4. The one that says, "Do what I say or you're gonna get it." Or was it 5? She hasn't had to use growls 4 or 5 lately. Hearing her tone, the seahorse-headed snake decided to be a smart one and start extending out the tank. It kept its head above water, so it must be mammalian, so it could breathe. Janet watched and saw as more and more and more of the creature emerged from that water. No wonder whales were hunting it. The creature was huge and probably could have fed them all for a long time. And it didn't look like those barbs were poisonous, because they didn't look like it didn't detach or snap off easily. There were also various bite marks on the creature's torso and tail, along with various discolorations that probably were from bruises from the pack of whales. After all, she's seen a killer whale yeet a seal high in the air with powerful swing of its tail. It may have looked funny, but that seal super died by having most of its internal organs exploded by the impact. This wimpy thing, no matter how big it was, probably not a good match. After all, if it submitted to its rightful place with Janet as the alpha, it had no chance against whales. Heck, she wouldn't give it good odds against her dolphin babies. The bastards that they were, she'll come back to find they tied the poor thing into a pretzel knot. Janet really did love her babies at the aquarium, but she was well aware that they don't mess around. Anyways, come, follow me, and if you're good, whatever you are, I'll get you some fish, she said, heading towards the medical so she can patch up their newest attraction. The creature perked up and followed her, slithering, almost gliding on the floor, and the noise its scales made when sliding on the floor was rather pretty sound. Once healed up and trained a little, this beastie was going to be a star attraction, especially as no one has ever seen something like that before, which was why she wasn't surprised that a few days later, some government types came and took it away, after making everyone at the aquarium sign miles of non-disclosures and threatening to disappear them if they spilled the beans. She'll miss her new buddy, but she did get the chance to smack her boss with a magazine when his guard was down. That's a point to Janet, with an assist from Kim K.